Angela Brasso was just hours away from her 22nd birthday. Angela went for a bike ride along the Arizona Canal. She never came home. The next morning, investigators found bloody drag marks leading from the bike path into a field. Angela's body was there, naked except for her shoes, stabbed in the back. Her head was missing. 11 days later, a fisherman found her head floating in the canal. 10 months later, the killer struck again. 17-year-old Melanie Bernas went for an evening bike ride along the same canal. She never returned. The next morning, a cyclist spotted a pool of blood and drag marks near the water. Police found Melanie's body floating in the canal. She was wearing a teal bodysuit her family and friends swore she didn't and wouldn't own. The fiend had carved the letters WSC and a cross into her chest. Semen evidence collected from both crimes showed the attacks were linked to the same suspect. For decades, the case went cold. Then in 2014, a genealogist doggedly examined the case, eventually honing in on Brian Patrick Miller, 20 years old at the time of the murders. By then, Miller was a divorced single dad, delivering Amazon packages by day and by night parading around his fetish for gore and attention-seeking. He drove a decommissioned police car painted with fake blood, a mannequin strapped to the roof, zombie hunter, across the doors. At events, he wore a mask and an elaborate horror costume. In a bizarre and audacious twist, he even advertised himself on Facebook as the zombie hunter, claiming to protect Phoenix from things that go bump in the night. Miller's past painted a grim picture. At 16, he stabbed a woman at a mall. She survived. They even found he had written a detailed murder plan covering abduction, abuse, and carving. He was jailed until turning 18. In 2002, he stabbed another woman with a 12-inch serrated knife in the back. He claimed she tried to rob him. Charges dropped. He likely also murdered 2 young girls, Brandy Myers and Shannon Almec, but was never charged. His wife later claimed that he admitted to killing Brandy. And as for the canal murders, in order to confirm they had the right man, police needed his DNA. They arranged for a fake job meeting at a local restaurant. After he left, undercover officers carefully collected his drinking cup. The DNA matched. Police searched his home. They found bikes and the hoarded junk of a man described as horror-obsessed and socially awkward. In 2015, Miller was arrested. He claimed insanity, saying he had dissociative amnesia, autism, PTSD. His ex-wife testified that sex with him grew violent and she left because she feared for her life. Prosecutors said he was a sexual sadist who enjoyed hurting women. In April 2023, a judge found him guilty of murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. In June, he was sentenced to death twice, plus 24 years. The Phoenix Canal murders, once the most brutal cold case detectives had ever seen, was finally solved. They live among us.